understand the grace of God. Grace isn't a free gift that says, well, I can just keep on sinning because the grace of life means God will never take back his free gift of life. No. You will die and go to hell that way. The grace of God is he's done the impossible and somehow managed to separate you from your sinful tree that just produced sinful fruit. And by the grace of God, he started you off on the other side of a gap you couldn't cross, and you actually became born again as a righteous tree that now produces righteous fruit. And if you're not producing that righteous fruit, you need to be scared out of your mind, because that can easily, and depending on what kind of sin you're justifying in your life, either quickly or slowly, you're beginning your journey out of God if you're justifying sin. The law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus has freed me from the law of sin and death. I now have that law in my heart. It's in my nature. The 10 Commandments a spiritually dead people can't keep, that now has become my nature, so of course I can keep them now. That is the law of the Spirit of life. We have a conscience that says, yep, yes, it's okay to do that. Nope, don't do that. And that conscience shows that you have within yourself the power not to sin. And again, I'm not preaching sinless perfection, like in order to go to heaven, you can never, ever commit a sin. I'm not talking about that at all. But we are talking about radical grace. Even though it's going to disclaim what I'm about to say, it allows people to excuse themselves to live in sin. And then what happens is that builds a path in those people that they're going to logically keep going greater and greater sin, to where they are living a lifestyle of habitual sin that walks them out of their own salvation. And that's the danger of radical grace. And to prove you the danger of radical grace is, if you're somebody watching this video now and you are in radical grace, if you are now thinking towards me, oh, this guy's legalistic, well, that just proves how bad your compass is, because you've taken the grace of God so far into lasciviousness that now you thinking you're in the grace, you look over at me who's actually preaching grace, and you call me the legalist. You see, your compass is already off. This is what we talked about, I believe, in part 6 of Radical Grace Calls God a Liar. Is, look, yeah, if you're in the center, say you're at home plate, maybe you can accurately judge what's to the left, what's to the right. But if you're way over here in left field, thinking you're in the center, then whenever you determine what's left and what's right, it's going to be wrong. So if the grace of God, through the grace in a born-again spirit, you can accurately judge, okay, this is a legalism over here, or this is a greasy grace over here. But if you're actually been moved over to the greasy grace, thinking you're still in the center at real grace, you no longer now can judge correctly what's to the left of you or to the right of you. So therefore, here I come preaching actual grace, but you're going to look over at me and say, oh, that guy's the legalistic guy. So what this is like is the things that are being told you to help you, you're now rejecting them as wrong. Matthew 6 talks about this. And when he says, look, if the light is in you is darkness, how great is that darkness? And the reason it's so great is because you think it's light. Picture somebody opening the door to you think somebody's opening the door to a prison cell to set you free. So here you're thinking you're getting freed from the prison, and you're actually going deeper into it.